What's up, y'all? Welcome to Marvelous, the movie review show where we review everything Marvel. We are your miraculous hosts. I am the RCnyst.
And I'm Caitlyn.
Today we're going to talk about the Eternals. Run that intro, mother. I'm just going to say, right off the bat, everybody had so much bad things to say about this movie, man. There was so many negative reviews, and to be real, just don't even listen to none of these people. Just go watch it with your own eyes, see it for yourself, and form your own opinions. That's all you got to do. Mm-hmm. I genuinely liked the movie. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody said it was. I didn't think it was great. It wasn't over the top endgame material, you know. But the cast was great.
I wouldn't say the cast. The whole cast is great.
I think everybody played their parts really well. Selma Hayek as Ajak, she did lovely. I think she did a great job. She didn't have as big of a role as I thought that she was going to.
She's great, but I didn't like her character just because we didn't have a lot of time with her.
Yeah, especially for someone that's supposed to be the leader of the Eternals. You know what I mean? We didn't really
We didn't have a connection because of the way that they told the story. And then these are going to be spoilers, the way that they killed her.
Our show is one giant spoiler.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the way that they killed her was just... It was
too soon.
And
without
it was
a connection first, because then I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's dead, who cares?
She's gone. And then it's like, okay, now what? Now move on to the other characters. Icarus is a douchebag.
Big safe house. Well, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Okay. Huge douche. They did a great job of making you hate his guts.
I didn't hate Icarus. I thought he was playing his character well, and he had this arrogance about him, but I liked... Hold on. I don't want to say after I said he had arrogance, I liked the way it came off. He had an arrogance about him, but I didn't view him as a bad guy, even though at the end he's supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he wasn't a bad guy until the end of the movie. Then it was like, before the end of the movie, he was Superman.
You were with the cape and you were shooting laser beams out of your eyes.
I don't wear a cape.
You know what I mean?
I liked those references. That was funny.
Honestly, you know what? That is probably my favorite part about this movie, is the DC references that they made. There was a Superman... There's two Superman references.
Dad, that's Superman! Dad, that's Superman!
There was a Batman reference.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Karun, Kingo's valet.
Oh, valet. Like Alfred in Batman.
Which means Superman and the rest of DC is in Marvel Universe.
I know.
At least the movies are. You mean in the comic books and stuff. So, like, that's exciting. I really dug that. There was a lot of firsts with this movie. There was, we had Disney's or Marvel's first sex scene.
I know. And it was so boring and bland. And it was just like, no. They could have gave us a Raylo sex scene, and they chose not to. That would have been miles better than what we got. Richard Madden and Gemma Chan didn't have any chemistry. I loved her chemistry with Kit Harington, though. They had great chemistry, and I was so excited for him to be in this. But then he was barely in it.
Yeah.
They left, and then I was just like, I was excited for him.
He was barely in it, but
he made an impact.
Is going to play a huge character in future Marvel movies, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
The Icarus and Cersei combination was just...
It fell flat.
Yeah.
They didn't have any chemistry at all.
Not really.
They didn't really have a connection. They didn't set it up. It was just a few scenes from the past. And then they're like, oh, we're in love for 5,000 years. But then he just left. And it's like, no, I don't feel that. And then the whole time that they were together, I still didn't feel any connection between them. No. I felt more of a connection with Dane and Cersei, even though they were apart for the whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Druig and Makari have the best chemistry. And Gilgamesh and Thena have amazing chemistry
Yes,
as well.
they're great.
They should have been the front runners. They were great.
Athena's character is probably my favorite character in the movie. I can't say there's like 3 of them that I could say they're my
She's
favorite.
probably my second favorite.
She was amazing. She did great. She was a
Well, it's
badass.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
Of course, she's going to be amazing.
you can't expect anything less from Angelina Jolie.
No.
Kingo, by far, one of the funniest fucking people ever.
But I am also an eternal.
Kingo is a world famous Bollywood actor. And not just a world famous Bollywood actor, but generations and generations of world famous Bollywood actors. That was genius.
That's my great grandfather.
No, it looked exactly the same throughout everything, but yeah. He's the next generation.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. The dude that followed him around all the time, Karun.
He was so funny. I loved him.
He brought so much comedy to this movie. It was fantastic.
He had more of a personality and chemistry with the cast than the 2 leads, than Cersei and Icarus.
Absolutely. And the fact he just kept breaking out cameras. And Sprite called him a young man.
Yeah.
That cracked me up. Because how many cameras do you have, young man?
You have a very angry family, sir. Yeah, it's a big issue.
Sprite,
Annoyed me.
the
I mean,
little child. Why do you think that they made her a child?
I don't know.
Bright, tell them about yourself.
Oh, wait.
I mean, because she was a child, she is in a child's body, but she's not a child.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for her for that, but other than that, she was kind of annoying and frustrating in a way. But I still felt sympathy for her when she was talking to Cersei at the end.
You'd think after millions of years of being stuck a child, it would get really annoying.
Yeah, because everyone else gets to fall in love but her. Because it would be extremely awkward if a man were to be like, oh, no, I understand that you're mentally a woman, but no. She's still physically a child. That just...
Yeah.
I would never be able to trust that man.
No. He's a weirdo. Stay far away from that dude.
Yeah. I was really bummed that they killed Gilgamesh. He was the one that they shouldn't have killed.
Dude.
I was so sad. The way that Athena, he's just like, stay. And I was just like, oh no. And then when he died, it was so heartbreaking. Gilgamesh's death affected me way more than Ajax because we got to know him and Athena and their relationship, and it was just so heartbreaking when he died. He was just so great. And he felt like he was the heart of the family.
I felt like he was the big brother. You know what I mean? That just like, he was hilarious, cracking jokes, the most powerful one.
Yeah.
Other than Icarus.
And he was emotional in a way, like he showed more emotion, I think, when they told him Ajax was dead than anyone else.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought I was drunk.
Except for Cersei, because she cried like a bumbling little baby. Druig, one of the coolest people in the whole movie. The dude, like, has one of my favorite powers. Literally, the ability to control everybody around him. Mm-hmm. The fact that their existence is explained by mythological lore from, like, ancient times that we know in real
Greece.
life. That was awesome. Like, everything about all of them was explained through mythological gods, and that just added a little bit of extra to the movie.
Druig is my favorite, by far. Him and Makari are my favorite couple, even though it hinted at it, but I'm hoping that they explore it more in the second one.
Yeah.
Because they have the greatest chemistry.
They had really good chemistry. And then when they first showed that they were a little thing, I was like, that's weird.
I didn't. I was like, oh my God. As soon as when she was talking about the Emerald Tablet, and they were talking, just talking back and forth and looking at each other, I was like, oh, yes. And then at the end, and then when Kingo and Fastus was saying, is this new? Because I hate it. And I was like, no, I love it.
This is new because I hate it.
Yeah, no, it grew on me majorly. Lauren Ridloff as an actor, she's great. Her in Walking Dead, and there's a couple other things I've seen her in.
I haven't watched The Walking Dead. I didn't know her from that.
Oh yeah, no, she's a running character in there. She's great. She's a great actress. I really did enjoy her in this movie. She has sticky fingers in this movie, man.
And I love that they are putting more diversity, that she's a deaf character.
Yeah.
I love that.
And she's an actual deaf actress, so that's super cool.
This is the second deaf character in Marvel, because they have a deaf character in Hawkeye.
Echo. Yes. We will touch more on that in the Hawkeye episode. But yes, that's the second. I didn't even realize that. Second deaf character. We also have a blind character in Matt Murdock. So everybody's represented. I liked in this movie that everybody was from a different walk of life. Every character, there's not one character that's the same race or ethnicity or whatever.
Yeah.
I see a lot of hate going towards the first gay couple in Marvel history. You know? But everybody's represented. You know what I mean? You can't sit here and be like, oh, you can't do that in Marvel. Like, it's not like they had the first sex scene be the first gay sex scene they had in Marvel history, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, it's the new era. It's new times, man. Get with it. I love Dude as an actor. It's Fastos, right? Dude, his character was great. He super knowledgeable, wanted to give humans everything, and humans just spit in his face in every sense.
I love that he wanted to improve technology. He wanted to further civilization. But then once he did, he realized that it wasn't the right choice. And he was so emotional about everything. And I felt connection to him because he was so emotional.
It forced him to cut the world off.
Yeah. He seemed more human out of everyone. Yeah. I think.
Most definitely. Besides Cersei, I feel like, you know, she was the one that loved humans. She wanted to give humans as much as she possibly can. The rest of them kind of realize you got to step back a little bit and let humans do their thing. But those two definitely advanced the world plenty. You know, we got introduced to the Celestials in this movie more than we did with Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy brought that in with Ego, the planet.
Isn't Nowhere a Celestial's head?
Yeah, it's a dead Celestial's head.
Okay.
But it showed how Celestials are born and how they're made, and we can actually get into this right now. Thanos was right this whole time. Thanos was the good guy, okay? Whether you like it or not, the man from Titan was right.
But was he? Because when in Infinity War, he was talking about how his planet resources were running low and there's an overabundance of population. That was his reasoning in Infinity War. So why would he say that if he knew about the Celestials?
Maybe that was just one reason. Maybe.
But wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't the Avengers understand a little bit more than just from what, it's overpopulated, we need to wipe out half the population? Be like, no, if we don't do this, then the whole world is going to explode.
I don't know. Because the thing to me is, he has eternal blood with a deviant mutagen in his blood. So he is like pretty much eternal, you know? So I think he probably knew maybe that's what happened on his planet in reality, you know? And he was just trying to go about it in his own way. I don't know. That's a really good question, because he's not a liar.
Father is many things. A liar is not one of them.
If you're making a plan to wipe out half the population of the entire universe, why would you lie about this one little thing?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say, hey, this is a bigger situation than just being overpopulated? But I was always Team Thanos, so he made really great points.
He was a piece of shit.
Just do it.
Why wouldn't you just double resources?
Can you do that with the Infinity Stones?
You could exterminate half of the population in a snap of a finger. I'm pretty sure you could bring more back just as fast.
Which is more fun, though.
You'd never be Gryffindor.
I am a Gryffindor.
That is no mind of a Gryffindor, Caitlyn. Anyways, back on track.
I'm a Gryffindor with Slytherin.
She's
qualities.
a Slytherin. She is a Slytherin. She speaks to snakes.
I wanted more of the deviants. We didn't really get to explore them all that well, considering that they were the big villain besides Icarus. I read that Crow, Bill Skarsgård's deviant character, he and Thena have a relationship.
Really?
Yeah. And they killed him. I was like, what? No.
Thena
They should have explored that relationship more.
That's just weird, though. Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know. They had a moment when he was like when she was wrapped up in like his tentacle things.
Okay.
But then she sliced him.
But the Hulk and She-Hulk had an incestuary relationship too, and I'm praying that they don't go into that. So.
Yeah. So did Wanda and Pedro. They were together in one of the universes.
And see, that's gross. We could do without exploring that much of the comic books. So
honestly, in fiction, I don't mind it.
You're weird. All right.
No, because if you watch Age of Ultron, they had moments. It
She's
was like,
down
what?
with Thanos and the hillbillies. It's insane.
If you watch closely in Age of Ultron, they have the way that he touches her. That's not brotherly touching. I have a brother, and he's never touched me like that. Thank God.
Yeah.
Not in real life. I don't like it. Or in real life, I don't like it, but in fiction, I don't mind.
She suffers from mad weary. I'm sorry. I just want to point out that when they start getting all overwhelmed, they call it mad weary, and that's what New Yorkers call being hella tired. You know what I mean? I'm mad weary, yo. You know what I mean?
Have you ever been to New York?
Nope, never. I want to though. The only cure for mad weary is a donkey punch in the forehead. That's what they did to Athena to calm her ass down. Gilgamesh had to just give her one of them right upside the head.
Yeah, I love their relationship. It was so sweet, and the way that he was like, I will take care of her. We'll hide away. But then there was a scene where they were talking about Druig putting the Celestial to sleep, and they're like, oh, well, can he even do that? And Athena said that Druig put her to sleep, and Gilgamesh was like, yeah, I took a vacation to Fiji.
I asked Druig to put me to sleep once.
So I could take a vacation to Fiji, you know?
That was so funny. It was just like cute moments like that. It was just, that's Cersei and Icarus never had.
No, yeah.
They tried to do it with when Cersei was on the phone with Dane, and she's like, oh, you're breaking up. And he's like, oh, you're breaking up? Well, that was like, that kind of fell flat.
Yeah, that was just a relationship that just didn't need to be. It was kind of stupid.
And it was so strange hearing Kit Harington and Richard Madden say that they both love Cersei. And I was like, it was so weird hearing them say that.
I thought it was really interesting that the deviants could absorb powers. You know, the Celestials created the deviants, and then the deviants were able to evolve and just became out of control. Started taking out too much stuff, so he created the Eternals.
It's interesting that the deviants evolved, but the Eternals never did.
They did that on purpose. That's why you see the Celestials 6 eyes, the deviants 4 eyes, the Eternals 2 eyes, because they scaled them back every time they made one. You know, they made
that. Nice.
Yeah. I kind of
What gave the Eternals the right to save Earth? Why is Earth always so special that it needs to be saved above everyone else? I was kind of on Kingo's side when he was like, what right did we have to stop this? This is celestial. It'll create millions of more lives. Yeah. I just don't understand why Earth is always so important.
Well, I found it interesting, too, is that they spend their time on Earth, then get taken from Earth, wiped clean, and then sent to another planet to do the exact same thing. Yeah. And not only do they get it done to them over and over and over again, but there's thousands and thousands of other Eternals that are doing the same exact thing, which is really crazy because how many other powers are there? Like, do they all have the same powers, or do they all have different abilities? What's crazy too is Thor is hundreds of years old, right? He's seen a lot in his time. Odin's seen a lot in his time, but to the Eternals, that's still a little bit of time that they've been alive. Like Kingo was saying that Thor used to follow him around all the time when he was a kid, and now he won't even return his calls. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Which is funny because in the first Thor, he's like, what's a phone or what's an email or whatever? Yeah. Like, he doesn't have that, so that's funny. Like, how is he supposed to return your call when he doesn't have a phone?
Right. I mean, he knows how to work an Xbox pretty good. Or a PlayStation. We've seen that.
Noob Master, hey, it's Thor again. You know, the God of Thunder? Listen, buddy, if you don't log off this game immediately, I'm gonna fly over to your house, come down to that basement you're hiding in, rip off your arms, and shove them up your butt!
So I'm sure he has a phone now.
I would have liked this movie to have been filmed differently, just the way that they did the timeline, the way that they're going back and forth between the two time periods. They said it when they got there. It was back in the day. I forgot what year it was. And then
it was BC though. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they went back, or they went to the future in London, to where present day. And we were staying with them for a little bit and getting to know them as characters. But then it went back to the past. They didn't stay in the past time period long enough to get to know them as individual characters and why they're a family. We were just told that they are a family, but you don't really see that connection.
Yeah, they should have explored their past a lot more.
Yeah, and
like,
then
we've seen certain empires build, and not even like build. We just seen them there at one point.
Yeah, it was there, and then they skipped forward a little bit in the past, and then all of a sudden the city's built. But we didn't see any of that build up, that connection. So I think that's maybe why they don't have great chemistry, because they didn't have that build up.
Yeah, they don't long enough to build up on the
Yeah, and we didn't know any of the characters.
Yeah.
And then they killed Ajax after only a couple scenes with her. And I literally didn't know who she was. I was like, why do I care about you as a character, and why do I care about your death when I don't even know you?
Yeah, I see that. She was the only character that really knew what they were there for.
Yeah, but she told Icarus, and that's why he left.
Yeah, Icarus took off. He couldn't handle it. He left everybody.
Because he was conflicted. He didn't want to... Because I think it was because he loved his family, but because we didn't see that. It was... And then he left, and then he came back.
Yeah, we didn't get to see him leave or his conflict or anything.
This movie did a lot of telling instead of showing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Which is weird because it's a movie.
Which is why it probably got such low ratings and low grades from everybody. Yeah. Because, like, I understand that. If you're not really listening to dialogue, there's a lot of things you'll miss because literally they're just telling you the whole time. I didn't even think about that, but most
I would have liked if they would have stayed in the past and just went a little bit to where that city was built. Yeah. And then they could have jumped ahead to present day in London with her working at I think it was a university or a museum. That would have been great because we would have had that time to get to know them as characters and as a family. And then we would have felt that connection, that brokenness from them departing to, like, not being together. It was like, oh, they broke up. Like, we want them back together. Then every time they go and get another Eternal, it's like a reunion for us, too, not just for them. But it was just for them because we didn't feel... Well, I didn't feel it.
Yeah. No, I dig that a lot. If they didn't have such funny characters, I don't think I would have liked the movie as much. I think because of Druig and because of...
Makari was just... She was adorable.
She is adorable. That's what's crazy.
And Kingo was just funny.
Kingo's hilarious. You got...
When Fastest, we were... when they were going to find Makari for the first time after several thousands of years, and he stepped on the chip bag, and he's like, "Oh God, T, don't freak out."
Oh God, stay calm, T, please.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, it's just a chip bag. And Athena's just look at him like, dude, I didn't do anything.
She's mad weary, yo.
That was so funny. I really loved that scene.
Yeah, that was a good one, dude. Overall, I enjoyed the movie because it's setting up so much more than people understand. It wasn't just this is the Eternals movie. It's the beginning of what the Eternals is. Like, it's about to open the door for all kinds of cosmic stuff in the Marvel Universe. You got Harry Styles that popped in at the end.
Thanos' brother.
Yeah, Thanos' brother. I'm positive that he's gonna have some dialogue that explains Thanos' whole thing and his background and stuff.
Maybe we'll get a better, clear answer of why Thanos really did what he did.
Yeah. I couldn't believe Sprite followed that man Icarus so hardcore that she would stab the only person that stuck around for her.
I can.
That pisses me off so bad. Cersei took care of that little brat for fucking years. And this broad was so infatuated with Superman D that she fucking stabbed the only person that gave a fuck about her.
It wasn't so much the infatuation with Icarus, and she wasn't infatuated, she was in love. It's more the fact that she wanted to start over. Yes. She didn't want to stay on Earth. She didn't want to fix Earth because she wanted to go somewhere else and forget.
Yeah.
Which
I get you.
Yeah.
But you're a bitch for that. You deserve that rock upside your head by the homeboy Druid.
We get to start over somewhere new.
Thank you, Druid.
Yeah.
You the man, dog.
And when Druid said that, oh, I can't do it, Cersei, you have to do it. Why is she the one that has to do it? Because it didn't really express very well why her powers are so much greater than everyone else's. When she made that deviant into a tree
and she
in the
evolved.
Pool.
She somehow evolved.
Yes, but they didn't do a very well.
You don't know how or why she evolved or anything, and why is she the only one to evolve?
But how did she evolve? How did it happen?
Yeah.
And if she was taking power from the Celestial, Druid could have done the same thing, and just made him fall asleep.
No, she froze him to death.
Yeah, I know, but if Druid had touched it, his powers would have been magnifying like hers, and he could have put it to sleep instead of killing it.
Now there's a giant fucking robot thing coming out of the fucking Earth, like all over the planet.
And how did that not cause worldwide disasters?
Chaos.
How did it not cause tsunamis everywhere?
Everywhere.
That should have caused earthquakes, tsunamis.
A planetary shift.
Yeah. How did it not affect anything? There's no way that it would not have.
No, yeah, Earth should have been swallowed by the sun like Icarus was.
Yeah, because we barely have little titanium plate shifts in the bottom of the ocean, and a tsunami will destroy an entire city.
Yeah.
And yet this celestial being was coming out of the water, and nothing happened.
If a butterfly flaps his wings in Japan, we get a tsunami in California. But yet a celestial breaks through the entire Earth. Nothing. And everybody's cool. Like, nobody's
Even
worried.
though it was supposed to destroy the Earth, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
There was barely baby waves.
I'm sorry, but that is a lot of damage to occur to nothing, for nothing to happen to the Earth.
Even where they were standing, even that volcano barely was erupting. I was like, what? Why isn't this...
They should have been shooting.
Why isn't this island erupting or, like, shifting something? It should have happened.
You lost some points on that one. That was definitely...
That was unbelievable. And not in a good way.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
I know it's a superhero movie, but come on.
You got to think that the next Eternals movie is going to be the rest of the Eternals trying to find Cersei and Phastos. Yeah, you got to think that the whole next movie is going to be about them trying to get them back.
Do you think they're going to bring back Icarus? Do you think he's... I know that body of his is dead, but do you think they're going to be another version of him?
That would be interesting.
Because I liked Icarus. I liked that he was conflicted. He was so devoted to Hiroshima, but also to his family, so he was just... He didn't know what to do. And I genuinely believe that he felt bad for killing Ajax. But he stood with his family at the end. He could have stopped her, but he decided not to. And they all formed the Unimind. Except Kingo, he's the only one that left. Icarus stayed and decided to help them with the Unimind. He could have just went off into the sun like he did before. He didn't have to help. But Kingo left, and I was waiting for him to come back because usually they come back. But he never did. So that kind of lost him points. I was like, why would you leave your family? Like,
Yeah.
oh, but it's Icarus.
Because it's
like,
not
no,
the Fast and
just
the
stay.
Furious, okay? That's why. They don't care about family.
It's all family.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, like, the whole fact that he took off in the first place pissed me off about it. Because it was like, dude, like, if you're all going to die anyway and your whole family's trying, man, like, you're just scared of Icarus, you big old bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, in a way, we should have known since Sprite had brought up earlier that he abandoned her, too.
Yeah.
So.
True that. What I found interesting was Cersei giving her new dude the ring, which was his family crest.
Yeah.
And they talked about them being around Alexander the Great and stuff and all that. So you got to think, she could have known his great-great-great-great-grandfather, you know?
Does she know his whole family? Because it didn't seem like she was telling the truth when she said, oh, I'm just a great eBay bidder.
Yeah, no.
It felt like she had that ring the whole time.
She kept that thing, dude. Most definitely. Yeah, and what was cool, too, was the fact that when she gave that kid that dagger, and it was, you know, it went from being a stone dagger to a beautiful gold piece of art. Well, when she's running through London, she looks up and sees that billboard or the news article thing on the screen, and it shows that the jumpstart of civilization, if you will. So, the cinematics in this movie were spot on. Great locations.
The cinematography was amazing.
Great colors, great everything.
The directing was great, and the shots were beautiful. It was just...
The story could have been put together better.
Yeah, the story was lacking.
I give it a solid C.
I give it a C, too.
Solid C. And that's not bad. I mean, I could have gave it an F, but I didn't.
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't. It was a solid movie. If you like Marvel and you are a huge fan of Marvel, there's a lot of things in there that's gonna get you going, man. That's gonna really like drive your interest to the max. You know, it's not gonna blow you away, and it's not one of those movies that's gonna be like, oh, the story was so deep. But the visuals were great.
I feel like it has rewatchable power still. The more I rewatch it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, no, I didn't like this. But then when it came out on Disney Plus, I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, it's better than I remember. And then I watched it again, and I was like, oh, it gets better every time that you watch it. Yeah. But it's still just the lack of character development and connection, the chemistry, and just the story that makes it just sit at a C every time that I watch it. I just can't bring myself to give it a higher grade than C.
The major thing keeping it from being a B- or even a C+ is the fact that, like she said earlier, it's literally they're getting lazy in their storytelling to where they don't have to act everything out. All they have to do is bring something up in a sentence, and it's there.
Yeah.
But that, to me,
it's like we have our audience. We don't need to try anymore.
Yeah, and that's a no-go around here. We don't dig that. Here at Marvelous, we like storytelling and true cinematics, man. So, but if there's another movie you guys want to see us review, if there's any other shows that you guys want us to do, comment in the comment section. Let us know. We'll be doing this a lot more. We got Doctor Strange coming in May, and before then, hopefully we'll have a few more videos out for you guys. We're going to be doing Hawkeye.
Morbius comes out in April.
Does it?
April 1st, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we're going to have to do a Morbius review, too. So, yeah, let us know. I am one of your hosts, RCnyst.
And I'm Caitlyn.
Thank you guys for joining us.